This is the new Peloton trend.
You got this team.
Well, I'll just start with a general one. How's it feel to be back at media day and to get closer to getting back into game action?
Oh, feels so good to put this jersey on. And it feels great to be on the court. Even better to be on the court. So incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Is the headband gonna be part of this season all year?
Well, it's been with me my whole rehab, so could be. We'll see how I shoot. You know, I'm pretty superstitious.
Clay well known, I mean, they don't want to put exact timetable on this, but, and we've asked you this many times, but do you have a set date, and is there like one milestone in your mind that you want to hit before you're back on the court?
Don't have a set date, but don't anticipate anything before 12 months. So that's at least till late November, early December. And that's kind of just a feel thing, you know? There's a lot of conditioning I have to do, but there is an end point, and that's what excites me. The worst is far, far behind me.
Coach Kerr said that Bob Myers had already joked with him and said you have to come back at a home game. Have you thought about that and what the crowd will be like when you do walk out?
Oh yeah. Thought about that moment for 2 years. You know, I really miss basketball. I miss playing for the Warriors in front of our great fans. So yeah, I would be lying to you if I said I would not think about that, but I think about it every day. And get a little nervous thinking about it, but it's going to be very special. It's going to be a great night.
Clay,
I saw you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jamie.
I saw you doing your photo shoots and you got off the ground a ways there. That looks like you're happy. I mean, I know that's one.
It's one thing, but it's another thing doing the NBA game with the best athletes in the world. But I'm excited. My goodness, just to be able to walk around, run, and jump again, and you take that for granted when you go through injuries I have. So I'm just excited to play with the team tomorrow, get up and down. That's going to be a fun day.
With how competitive you were and have been your whole career, I'm sure over the last 2 years, the word patience has probably taken a new meaning to you.
That it has. You know, you got to really be patient with your body. Your mind knows you can do things that you're always used to doing, but sometimes the human body snap a ligament or two, and that rehab process is a long one. And you know, you got to be like water and just let that frustration roll off your back, especially when you want to come back and you want the race.
Clay, you described 2020 as the worst year of your life. I mean, through the injury hardships and losing your grandmother and everything else that was going on, how do you feel like you've grown through that hardship? Do you feel like you've changed in a personal way?
Yeah. I have such a healthy appreciation for this game. And, you know, I don't really gloat in my past success, but when you have a lot of time on your hands, you can rewatch a lot of film, and sometimes I rewatch those and think, how did I do that? Or, I can't believe our team did this. And that's what inspires me when I'm doing this rehab, to do that type of stuff again. And also, I'm able to relate to younger athletes who go through these things. So that's a positive.
I know you've always loved basketball, but would you say you've fallen in love with basketball again, or did watching that
I've
film?
always loved basketball.
Did watching that film make you fall in love with the Warriors again, or the situation?
No, I always loved the Warriors. Like, the team that drafted me, I've seen the fan base grow. I've seen the team go through, you know, my rookie year winning 23 games. 4 years later, breaking the NBA season record for wins. 16-1 in the playoffs, another record. So I'm very prideful to be a Warrior, and so should everybody else who puts on this uniform, because it's truly a privilege to play for this organization.
Clay, Chris Alvarez, ABC7, welcome back. What's your response from your teammates like when they see you? I know a lot of people are excited to see you, but can you see your teammates as when you're around?
Ooh, yeah, feeling like a veteran, and it's just been great to lean on these guys, especially over the last year. I I got to watch a lot of them play so hard. I got to watch guys carve out a nice niche for themselves in the NBA. And now I want to come back and be able to help them. You know, we all have a role to do, whether it's lead the team in scoring or play 10 minutes a game. These guys take great pride in that, and that's what excites me is that our front office does a great job of selecting great guys who want to win.
And as far as Captain Clay this summer, is there a wait list for the boat on your teammates, and how long might that reservation be?
That's a great question. It's definitely a wait list. You gotta show me you can tie a boat knot. You have to be able to not get seasick for at least an hour. And I don't know, you just have to have an enthusiasm for the ocean like I do, and then I'll let you on the actual bar.
So what have you learned about how strong you are mentally to be able to do that downtown?
I'll learn a lot more when I come back and I feel that game action, because it's still in the middle of my rehab. I'm like probably 75, 80 percentile of what I need to do. So when I get close to 100%, I'll start to feel myself again. But what I learned as far as mentally, just there's things that you cannot control, but you can control how you react to every situation. And I've learned to take a more emotional, conscious approach to crap that comes my way.
What exactly can you do right now?
I can make a lot of jump shots. Pretty good defensive sliding. My timing's a little off. My reaction time's not there, but that's also being rusty 2 years. So I anticipate, hopefully in the next 4 weeks, play 5-on-5 again, 1-on-1. And then from there, it should be not smooth sailing, but it should be up from there. I've done everything but 5-on-5, 1-on-1. So I'm feeling very confident in my body again.
What do you think of the way they rebuilt the roster this summer and the idea of, you guys trying to compete for a title this year, and also obviously you got 2 rookies, James still coming along, and that mesh?
I think it's great. I think the future's bright and the present is even brighter. So, I actually got young guys who listen to me. It's pretty crazy how time has evaporated, but I am excited to coach these guys and just play alongside them and hopefully teach them a few of the little tricks I've learned over the years. And I just get excited seeing these young guys run up and down with their spry legs and their ability to get above the rim. It gets me excited to try and develop their skills a little more in their basketball minds.
Well, the world has changed a lot since you last played. Obviously the pandemic has made a big effect, but you've had a lot of social justice movements and so forth in that time too. What have you been able to sort of persevere, and what have you been able to see and take from the way things have changed in our lives over the last couple of years?
I've learned as professional athletes and NBA players, we have a platform. It's our right to do what we want with that platform. Whether that's bring more attention to social justice issues or promote your own business or a small business or the community. And I've learned that it's a very special opportunity to have these type of platforms. World leaders sometimes don't have a big platform as we can, and I think it's great that we voice not only our frustrations, but we try and empower communities that may be marginalized. And I thought a really special moment for us last year was walking through Oakland with Juan Toscano and watching him lead. He grew up in the East Oakland. It's tough. We all know how tough it is out there, and just follow him and his friends in the neighborhoods and chant the names of those who've been unfairly murdered and unarmed. That was probably my favorite moment of the year. It was very empowering, and it was so surreal and special. And to see Juan do that and be so vocal about it, because know, I was very lucky. I had a privileged lifestyle growing up. My dad played in the league, I went to private school. So sometimes I think for so many people out there, we need to be more empathetic with what people go through on a daily basis. And I think the Warriors organization is at the forefront of that. They're so involved with the community, not only in Oakland, but in San Francisco, San Jose, and they've empowered a lot of people. And I think Juan Toscano will have a movie about his story one day. So we got some great minds on our team, and I've learned that as NBA players, we can be at the forefront of change if we really want to.
Clay, kind of on that note, what have you learned as you got older that perhaps you didn't see from a social justice standpoint growing up?
Phew. I learned that the cards are stacked against a lot of people. You know, I was the son of an NBA player, so for a lot of my life, I was able to operate in spaces with a lot of white people, a lot of people who come from great families, who go to college, who are lawyers, doctors. But then, you know, you come to the NBA and you learn from your teammates, you learn from players who come from the inner city or LB who came from the favelas of Brazil, and you know, they've worked so hard to elevate their lifestyle, but it's hard because you have so much family and friends who want to have that same American experience. Sometimes the cards are stacked against you, whether it's the neighborhood you grew up in, the school system you're in. It's hard just to even attain insurance, your next meal. And 2020 really taught me that we still have such a long way to go, especially in this country, you know, for people to have the same opportunity I had as a kid. You know, I had everything handed to me. I had gym access, I had great schooling, and I want every child, no matter what color you are, to have that opportunity. And it might seem like it's impossible, but it's not. And I think you start within your community first, and you try and empower those around you, whether it be your family or friends, and you try and go bigger. You got the platform playing for the Warriors. You know, you try to preach great things, whether it's valuing time, your family, your relationships rather than material things or a big house and a mansion, but really just the ability to inspire people is what I learned 2020 is all about.
And lastly, did you ever have racial incident growing up, or did your being the son of your father just protect you too much from that?
No, I would, you know, being at private school a lot, you know, sometimes there's only a few kids of color. So you would hear ignorant things, but it didn't affect me as much as it does now in adulthood because I was a child, you know, I just let it roll off my back, whether it was hearing the N-word or racial epithets about marginalized groups. You just learn that's ignorance, and all you can do is check people for it. And I learned in adulthood how deep words really cut. You know, you remember those traumas as a kid, and I didn't get much at all, but, you know, so many of my friends in the NBA have so many stories about being stereotyped, whether it's being pulled over for being black or checked at the shopping mall for buying stuff and not thinking you could afford it. Stuff like that just opened my mind and try to be more compassionate to people who've had to deal with that from for generations. And I think 2020 really showed us that the world needs more love, and just to try to hear people's story, because you don't want to be judgmental of people who've gone through so much.
Clay, coming back from 2 years, you look at the roster, I think it's just 4 guys that you play with Steph, Draymond, well, 3, maybe, Kevon, and now Andre coming back. Because it's true, when you look at this roster, you look at all the new faces, and you almost feel like it's a changed team from last time you played with them?
Not really. I mean, I got so much playoff experience with those guys you named. But definitely the bench has obviously changed. You know, there's like a revolving door in the NBA. It's a good business. But, you know, Jordan Poole's in his 3rd year. Like, I remember when he was my rookie. Like, where's time gone, really? And why is it his 2nd year? So it gives me a lot of life to see these young guys. Reminds me of, you know, when me, Steph, and Draymond first came on board and how everything was so fresh and every night was a big opportunity, whether preseason or playoffs. So, although it does feel like a new team, there's still a ton of familiarity between, you know, the core guys who've been here. And luckily for us, these guys are willing to do whatever it takes to win.
So when you went down initially, you were reaching a kind of a new level of your ability. Do you feel like for what you've done and how far you've come, do you still feel like that level is attainable?
Oh yeah, that's my last taste of hoops was 2019 finals, and I was really shooting the heck out the ball, and I might not get there right away, but I expect to be there at some point during the season. And I think very highly of myself when it comes to scoring and being a two-way player. And although I've been through tough injuries, I'm not going to use that as a crutch. I'm going to go out there and play as hard as I can. And luckily for me, we got a great training staff who won't let me loose until I'm really ready. But I was on my way. You know, I was playing the best I ever played in the finals, so I expect to take off on that note. I mean, that's just my attitude.
Clay, a lot of guys are extending their career into their close to their 40s. Do you have an idea of when you would like to play, as long as it might be? And do you get like Steph? You know, you want to go like Steph and Tom Brady, like those type guys?
I would like to, but sometimes stuff happens you can't control, and health is obviously the most important factor when it comes to longevity. So I just want to kill it this year. Not even this year, I just want to kill it at training camp. But I would love to play until I'm 40. I mean, the greatest shooters have always had longevity, whether it be Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, or Steph. I mean, Steve Kerr played forever. I plan on helping out. I plan on shooting in this league for a long time.
What do you think Andre returning can do for you guys?
Just his leadership. The man has had one of the most incredible careers in a Warriors jersey. You know, he's one of our 3 Finals MVPs. He is a clutch defender, a clutch shooter, and even more importantly is, you know, when they say more than an athlete, Andre represents that. He has been a great investor in the Bay Area. He's a great family man. You know, see little Andre Jr., now 14, about to go to high school, is crazy. And he can just, you know, like, be a shoulder for these young guys and an ear. He has really figured it out, and I'm just happy to have him back. I still go to him for advice on the daily, so I love Andre. He will have his jersey in the Raptors one day, as he should, because he's, you know, a Hall of Famer in my book.